Okay, so picture this. A ruthless, modern-day tycoon gets pushed off a skyscraper and wakes up as a six-year-old boy in the middle of a brutal famine. Let's dive into this absolutely insane story of survival, strategy, and the one impossible purchase that changes absolutely everything.
And that right there, that's the moment it all snaps into focus. He's only 6 years old, but he's got the memories of a billionaire who was betrayed by everyone. And now he's facing this choice. This isn't just about not starving anymore. It's about protecting the first real, genuine love he's ever known. The stakes just went through the roof.
And this is just wild, right? Look at the contrast. He goes from having all the money in the world, but being completely alone, to having absolutely nothing, but being surrounded by people who would die for him. Talk about a cruel joke. He finally gets a family worth fighting for, but he's in a body that can barely even stand up. So yeah, his second chance at life, it doesn't start with a silver spoon. It starts with an empty bowl and the very real feeling that the world is trying to kill him. And things get bad, like, immediately. His own aunt tries to steal the last little bit of grain meant to keep him alive. She's calling him a dying sick boy, a burden. And he's just powerless. He has to watch his mom and grandpa get shoved around for the one thing that's keeping his heart beating. But then, right at his absolute lowest point, something clicks inside his head. This exchange mall thing pops up. And let me tell you, it is not just a store. It's a lifeline, it's an arsenal, it's his connection to a world with modern stuff, advanced tech, and, well, something a whole lot more dangerous.
With the family's last 2 copper coins, that's literally all they have in the world, he makes his first desperate buy. It's not a lot, just 1 pound of rice. But it's enough to make porridge. It's enough to pull his family back from the edge. This is his first move as their secret provider, his first little taste of a power nobody else can even begin to understand.
But look, a single meal isn't going to fix things long term. So now, the tycoon's mind, inside that little 6-year-old body, really starts to spin, turning total desperation into what's about to become a business empire. His first big idea is just brilliant. He overhears some people talking about a rare, fancy food, and, using his business instincts, he figures out how to make it. These aren't just any eggs, they're amber eggs. It's a luxury good he can make with super cheap stuff that's just lying around. It's classic Tycoon 101. Low cost, high reward. And the results are just staggering. He starts small, just a little market stall, but in no time, he's got supply deals with the 2 biggest restaurants in the city. All of a sudden, this family that was literally starving is making more money in 1 month than they used to see in a whole year. It's insane. But you know how it goes. When you start making money, you start making enemies, and their new success puts a giant target on their backs. And we're not just talking about jealous relatives anymore. A much, much bigger threat is on the way. And this is where the story takes a really dark turn. Because Shu Cheng is about to learn a very hard lesson. All the smarts and money in the world mean nothing when you're up against pure, brute force. And boom! Just like that, while he's in town, he and his new friend Lulu, who happens to be the magistrate's daughter, get snatched by a gang of bandits. They're dragged off, and the game has completely, terrifyingly changed. The price tag for their lives? 1,000 taels of silver. It's an astronomical, impossible number. Even with the egg business, there's no way his family can pull that together. Their hard-earned money just isn't enough. So what do? Seriously, think about it. You're trapped. You're 6. Your business plans are worthless. Your clever words don't matter to 31 guys with swords. What possible move is there left to make? He goes back to his one secret weapon, the exchange mall. He pulls every single coin his family has, all their silver, everything they've earned. And he scrolls right past the food, past the tools, to a category he has never, ever dared to look at before. Now get this. He doesn't buy a weapon. He doesn't buy an escape plan. He buys a person. For 1,700 taels of silver, he buys Ling Kong, a 5th-rank warrior, an unstoppable killing machine whose loyalty is hard-coded to him. And in the blink of an eye, this warrior materializes out of thin air, right there in the bandit's cave. That one single transaction changes the entire game. This isn't about making money for food anymore. This is about wielding a type of power that doesn't just solve problems, it completely eradicates them. The rules have been rewritten. And the resolution? It is swift, it is brutal, and it is absolute. There's no dramatic showdown, just that cold, efficient report. Problem solved. Permanently. So let's just look at the return on investment here. He and Lulu are safe. The entire bandit gang is gone. And all the ransom money is recovered. He basically turned his family's fortune into an invincible bodyguard and then got a full refund. As a tycoon, you just can't beat that. So this is the real shift, you see. He went from being a provider, this clever kid using his brain to feed his family, to a protector who can call upon deadly force in an instant. The very nature of his power has changed. So when he walks out of that forest, he's not just a clever kid who got rescued, he's a power broker. He has secured his family's future, not just with money, but by owning a weapon more powerful than any army in the entire region. I mean, his power base now is just a terrifying combination. You have the mind of a modern CEO, you have the fierce loyalty to his family, and now you have this button he can press for lethal force on demand. It's a combination of brains, money, and now pure, overwhelming might. But look, power like this, it doesn't go unnoticed. A 6-year-old boy walking around with an impossibly skilled bodyguard is weird. It's an anomaly. People are starting to ask questions, and that kind of attention is maybe even more dangerous than a gang of bandits. And that leaves us with this final, chilling question. He bought this power to protect his family, right? But when you can solve any problem by just deleting it with overwhelming force, how long before you stop protecting and you start conquering? That line between being a savior and a tyrant is getting very, very thin.